Hello and welcome to Zandvoort for another round of Formula One action. Zandvoort circuit, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout a 2.6 mile lap.
Cool on pole position with a 1:10.9, the only man into the 1 minute 10s, followed by Ginger Tiger in P2. Consistent performance by him. Kuiper's fan favourite P3, looking good for him. Eric Pancakes P4, Smoke FX, Ben Roberts, Russman, Joe Hamster. I was expecting better from him, but P8's not too bad for a track he hates. Nitro Gas, championship leader down in P9. Tyra, Steel BL, Office Ready in the Alfa Romeo. Simon Palmer and Mr. Steen down in last, which is quite shocking from a driver who I was expecting great things from.
Yeah, and it looks like soft tyres the way to go for the top 10. Of course, as usual, we will get... and again, David says in the chat, 7/10 top to bottom. Yeah, that's about what we were expecting, about what we experienced last week. And I think that's just the trend of things to come in this F2 division. It is so close. And, of course, one little slip-up can mean multiple places. And take a look at this, Lightning. We've got... It is absolutely pouring.
That is 100% full wet, and I had a feeling it was going to be wet because I saw Ginger Tiger go out on the same set of tyres and then spin on them. And he didn't seem to mind. He didn't seem to try and better that lap to make sure he didn't start on worn softs. So yeah. He obviously knew that you wouldn't be starting on those tyres anyway.
Interesting, yeah. So quite happy to scrub them. They were expecting it. We weren't. We weren't privy to any information there, but yeah.
Yeah, we were in the dark a bit.
And David's nice proper excited about it. He says, settle in, boys, we've got a race on. We definitely have. It's going to be super close, and it's going to be at least wet at the beginning of this race. Whether it dries up as it did in yesterday's race. What did we get, about 8 laps of wet conditions before it dried up?
Yeah, and then we had a safety car, so the...
and Luke says dry towards the end is Jeff's prediction, so we could be... Yeah, this could be a very, very good one. Welcome if you're just joining us, and apologies for the aborted qualifying session. We caught the all-important stuff at the end, but we're seeing a very strange technical issue. First time it's beset any of us. But yeah, it's dropped the stream twice, and it's in 2 days, unfortunately. But we will persist and try and see to the end. Of course, we've got a small break here in proceedings while everybody has the chance to select their optimal strategy. It's one of the rules of Invictus Racing League to give everybody fair warning here, Lightning, and no one is caught short on their fuel strategy.
Yeah, it's always important to have some time at the start of the race to make sure everything is in order in case you need to edit your setup or change your tyres. I like the rule because I've had a lot of mistakes happen because we've only had 30 seconds at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps just settle everybody down. And I wonder who has believed Jeff here and put a wet setup on for qualifying and the race, and who has trusted to experience and gone for a predominantly dry setup?
Well, the thing about the Netherlands is that you're most of the time on maximum downforce, or at least 10-10 wings, so very close. And by the looks of it, Ginger Tiger, he seemed so planted to the track, especially through sector 2 and 3. I think that he's on a wet setup, so I have a good feeling about Ginger Tiger. I think that he could make gains on Cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Here we go. Countdown is coming, yeah, and we're waiting for the formation lap. Thanks to Luke Bailey for giving us that weather update as well. We haven't quite... There we go. And Ben Roberts confirms we haven't quite trained our drivers to give us our weather forecasts just yet in F2, but we'll get there. We'll get them helping us out, and to give us information on the end of their sessions, whether that's qualifying or a DNF. We like to hear from our drivers mid-race if possible. It really helps out everyone's enjoyment of the race if they know, if we've got the equivalent of a pit lane reporter talking their way through. So intermediates are the way to go.
Oh wow, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
I'm really surprised given the depth of water and the speed at which it's falling. But Mr. Steam will start from the back. He's exploring the gravel trap at the moment, just testing that out. It's not going to help his tyre pressures, but he should have time to clear it up.
Oh my goodness, he just oversteered into the grass there.
Okay.
As soon as I go on board with him as well.
Simon Palmer will start 13th in the lone Mercedes, and we expect to see something from Office Red and Steel as they move up. Tyrrell in the 10th place, and we have championship leader Nitrogash, the rearmost of the McLarens, starting 9th and 7th, with Russman and Joe Hamster between them. Ben Roberts, our weatherman of the day, is in P6 with some very good laps in qualifying, showing consistent pace. He was never outside of the top, I think 5 to 8 mark through the whole of qualifying. Certainly seemed to be getting the most out of it. Eric Pancakes was hot and cold during qualifying, but finished P4. And then we've got Kuipers here and some more support from Burmeister for Kuipers, starting P3. It's going to be a difficult race out there, and I'm quite happy to be in the commentary box tonight. Lightning.
Yeah, I'd be very nervous with these conditions, considering how heavy it's falling. The rain is falling, and on the intermediates, there could be a few mistakes.
The one thing we know about the intermediates is it does enable the drivers to go for a zero-stop strategy if it stays wet long enough. They will run and run and run these intermediates, so that's an option if the drivers fancy it. We'll just gathering our grid together, and quick thank you to Nelcut Hall, to GT Omega, gridfinder.com and Driver61, our sponsors, without whom we would not go racing. And we're about to get underway. We've got a strange grid order notification coming on the tower, and there we go. Cool 132 on the outside. It's lights out and away we go, very softly, very gingerly away from the grid, not least of whom are the front runners. The McLarens are side by side as they go towards Tarzan for the first time, and beware of people drifting wide in the corner. We have actually got a 3 wide situation as they barrel their way down into the Hugenholtz left-hand banked corner, very tight. There we go. We've got Ginger Tiger falling down now behind Kuipers. Ben Roberts moving up. So mixed fortunes for Aston Martin, but everybody's surviving so far, Lightning.
Yeah, I was on board with Nitro, who just hit the back of Joe Hamster. Don't think there's any damage, but side by side go the Red Bulls. Russman in the McLaren overtakes his teammate. I think he has damage. I think our championship leader has damage.
Well, he didn't have the best starting position, and it's already looks like it's going wrong for Nitrogash. I can't see anything visible on the car, Lightning. It's got both end plates intact. Sorry, no, I can't see any major damage, so that might be a foreboding situation as the McLaren of Smoke Effects defends, but Ben Roberts successfully up, and we know who our early Rainmaster is here in the race, as Ben Roberts is gaining the places and doing a tremendous job positioning the car, taking advantage of other drivers. But it's Kuipers for the lead, going down the start-finish straight. Here he comes on Cool 132. He's got the inside line, but it's not always done and dusted on the inside line around Tarzan. Cool 32, although takes it fairly steady, doesn't fancy riding the wall of death around the outside of the bank corner, and Kuipers up to P1 with a lightning start there.
That was a fantastic performance from Kuipers, a fan favourite, up into the lead. I think Burmeister's wish for a Kuipers podium is coming into fruition.
So far, so good. Just don't ride on board with him.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Nitro and Tyro did get damage. Nitro, our championship leader, also sped into the pit lane, so that's not going to help his Grand Prix.
Absolutely, Red Bulls are together, the Aston Martins are together. Not the best start for the McLarens either, but Kuiper's trying to get away now from Cool.
He was going for a move there, he was thinking about it on Cool, but to no effect at the moment.
And Ben Roberts is the one on the ascendancy of the Aston Martin, so I wonder if Ginger Tiger will be looking in his mirrors at all. I doubt it, somehow.
huge bit of lag there for Ben Roberts.
Yeah, I felt that too.
Hopefully not to be repeated throughout the race, but...
Luke Bailey says 10 minutes until the rain stops. So Luke Bailey with some
the Red Bulls side by side.
They are, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Here comes Joe Hamster then down the inside. You don't want to hit your teammate, but it's nip and tuck between the two Red Bulls, as it looks like Joe Hamster just got the better of his teammate, but that was very close and very considerate racing between those two. Yeah,
it was a very good performance. It was like some clean side-by-side racing at Zandvoort, which is a very difficult circuit to do so. It's a yellow flag. I think it's for Tyra, who is retired.
No, he's in front of the pit lane. He's in front of the pit lane. That's a spin. We saw a car spin in exactly that same place at almost the same part of the race yesterday. So
he actually did.
It's crazy. It's that final corner.
And now it's DNF.
He's retired in the pits now, having wiped off the front wing altogether. So obviously not in the mood to persist, but he's done the right and honourable thing and gone to the pit lane before rage quitting. I don't know what you call a rage quit that's not rageful, but he's gone, unfortunately. No, he won't take any further part. We're down to 13 drivers, and with only 3 laps into this race. The rain, though, lightning, really falling very heavily. And yesterday we saw the track take a long time to dry up.
I mean, Luke Bailey said that it was going to dry up in 10 minutes, but it looks incredibly wet out there. Oh my.
Ginger Tiger lets his teammate go. Yeah, he didn't fancy going side by side into Tarzan, and I think that surprised Ben Roberts, who went wide, but has kept the place.
I heard the lift off from Ginger Tiger. I thought, well, does he have an issue or something? But no.
Check out the wide line from Ben Roberts around Hugenholtz. Almost what they were doing on track last year. Very interesting. There's no margin for error if you go on the high line.
Yeah, he got a very good exit because of it. Nitro Gash showing his true potential with a fastest lap there. Sadly, down in last with a penalty.
Well, hopefully that means that the car has at least been fully repaired, and he's not driving wounded. So a safety car would bring him back in to the hunt here. Although he's very much on a plan B or C in terms of strategy. Of course, a safety car would mean everybody has the same option to pit, and it's whether that comes as the track starts to dry.
Absolutely, but I'm talking about drying track. It does seem to stop raining a bit more than before.
Mr. Steen, who's gained 6 places, goes for a move on Eric Pancakes. He's got the inside line, has to brake slightly earlier. A tiny touch of wheels. It was a gentle touch between friends, and Eric Pancakes prospers, holds off Mr. Steen, but Mr. Steen's been making ground no end. He's great work. Rusman sticks the nose up, and inevitable contact, but he just rescues it. I think he's going to be vulnerable though. Simon Palmer got on the throttle a lot earlier as they go towards Shivlak. There's no real way through again on the Shivlak corner though.
Yeah, it's a very difficult corner to overtake on, that's for sure. But putting him under immense pressure.
Looks like Rusman's starting to struggle with understeer. So possibly the rain does appear to be falling a little bit gentler on the east side of the circuit at least.
Yeah, it does a lot less raindrops than before, I believe.
Yeah, even by the trackside camera, it does look to be easing. So with 5 laps in, could be a predominantly dry race. Look out for DRS being enabled, because that's usually the indicator that the game thinks it's dry. Although sometimes the drivers disagree and stay on to it. Here comes Ben Roberts for the podium. Gets under the rear wing of Cool. Have to take the wide line round Tarzan. He's not afraid to run the high line on these corners as he gets good drive coming out of the corner, and the outside line on the approach to Hugenholtz. Great overtake. Took several corners to get into position, but Ben Roberts really going for it out here.
Yeah, what an amazing performance by them. Well, we can designate him the Rainmaster at the moment. He's doing fantastic, and he set a purple last sector whilst he was attempting the overtake on Cool.
Well, I think it's a toss-up at the moment, though, between him and Mr. Steen. Oh, Mr. Steen started further back with possibly slower drivers or drivers who've made more mistakes.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake from Simon Palmer. Yeah, he's gone off.
Back on the track, thankfully. But yeah,
no
drama.
Damage, I believe. So he's still in the train.
It's a
so
relief.
Not all is lost.
Yeah.
Burmeister's going to be worried about Kuipers getting his lead cut down by Ben Roberts. And we all know that Ben Roberts is on a charge here. He's absolutely rapid in these conditions.
Yeah, confirm that. But everyone's driving very close to one another. 12 drivers. Oh dear, around goes Mr. Steen. Smashes out and has blocked the pit lane entry, Lightning.
Oh my.
That's a guaranteed safety car if he's blocked the pit lane entry. Crazy stuff. Again, that final corner claiming another driver and another race. That's Tirac and Mr. Steen both out. And there's your safety car as Nitrogash looks to try and get into the pit lane, but sees a car sitting in the middle of it. He manages to go round it, but that was a hairy moment there. Mr. Nitrogash pits. I wonder if he's tempted, to try the dries.
He's on the mediums, and he's changing his front wing as well. He's also serving the penalty.
He's put no, he is going to mediums. You're right, exactly. Yeah, and then here comes a new front wing as well. There's nothing to lose. Might as well change everything possible. Get a respray while you're there.
Yeah, but that safety car was perfectly timed for Nitro. Get rid of the penalty.
Look at the drying track. So it looks drier to the eye, but we did find drivers really struggling on the first lap or two, and the rain hasn't even officially stopped yet.
Yeah, last race we had no droplets, and it took about 3 laps for the drivers to be comfortable with the track. In fact, on the same lap that DRS got enabled, a driver lost 5 seconds because before it was enabled it was so greasy and so slippery.
That's right, we'll see if it's the same out there today. Of course, a different day in history as far as the game's concerned. Kuipers and Ben Roberts refuse the pit lane, as do most of the drivers. They're not happy that this is dry conditions yet. Of course, Nitrogash has the least to lose and the most to gain by putting the medium tyres on. Let's see how the car's handling. Not well, frankly.
Yeah, as soon as I go on board, there's an oversteer moment.
Yeah.
Oh, and another spin, okay.
It's clearly not ready, and he could actually end up delaying the safety car to the point where it's dry and he's on the right tyre in the end. So
well,
maybe
that could be a strategy.
It could be. But these tyres are going to get colder and harder to operate for Nitrogash, and he's actually in danger here of getting caught by the safety car from behind.
On the
he has another spin like that.
On his dashboard it says that his front tyres are at 60 degrees, and for reference they're meant to be around 90.
Yeah. I can't quite read those figures myself, but I'll trust you on that. You've obviously got a very high-def TV, or you're sitting incredibly close to it.
I am very close to the TV at the moment.
Nitrogash decides to stick with the decision, and he's got a long way to go before he catches the safety car. He may not even catch it in time. I have seen a race restart after, I think, 3 laps under the safety car because they couldn't wait. Who's that?
Spin for Nitro.
Oh, it's Nitrogash again.
He's going to get lapped by a safety car.
Yeah, that's round Tarzan. So it does look to have stopped raining from the trackside camera around where Nitrogash is right now.
He's lucky just another lap of safety car, but I think he'll need 2.
Well, we've got intermediate tyres on everybody's car. We've got Kuipers up 2 places after qualifying 3rd place, and Ben Roberts up 4 behind him with perhaps the driver the first 9 laps at least. Coulth at 132 from pole, down 2 places in 3rd, and Ginger Tiger in 4th with Smoke, Joe Hamster, Eric Pancakes, Rusman, Office Red and Steele. Then outside the top 10 currently Simon Palmer, who we saw spinning, and also Nitrogash, who has done little else but spin so far. He's currently 1 minute and 11 seconds off the lead, and unable really even to catch the safety car queue, given
he's only
the
caught
state of the
around
tyres.
5 seconds this lap, which isn't good. In fact, no,
and he's not got a delta,
lost
has
10.
he? On here, he's not having to drive to a delta because the safety car is out and it's running.
Will there be another lap of safety car? This is critical for Nitro. There has to be another lap for him to still have a chance in this race.
Interesting to see Kuiper's going well offline. He feels like maybe the intermediates need cooling to keep them in a good window.
Well, I think that it's right between mediums, or well, slicks and intermediates. So the slicks will cool down rapidly, and the intermediates will overheat. And safety car is in this lap, so that is game over for Nitro. 1 minute behind.
Absolutely, he needs Kuipers to hold the field up dramatically here. I'm not sure he will accede to that wish, but you can see Nitrogash starting to get some confidence, certainly moving quicker on the track map here, starting to feel the car a little bit better. And of course he will still profit if he can catch these guys, and he's on better tyres for a lap or two, then he will profit from that pit stop, and away they go then. Green flag racing as Ben Roberts gets a good jump, keeps right in touch with Kuipers, shows that he's right behind him in the mirrors, but no real move, and in fact almost outbrakes himself and runs very wide. He almost unsafely rejoins in the path of his teammate, and Ben Roberts holds on, but it's causing a little bit of carnage behind as Cool 132 has dropped 2 places in all of that melee. Takes the high road around the top of Hugenholtz, and that was all triggered by Ben Roberts going wide and wrong.
How on earth did he stay hold of P2? I don't know.
Round goes a Haas.
Oh, and Simon Palmer's out.
And Simon, we haven't got a Haas. It was Cool 132. It's the other white car. Cool 132 spinning round in these wet conditions as the field was completely condensed. We do have a DNF. It's Simon Palmer, and I wonder, Lightning, he's on the exit of Shivlak.
Will there be another safety car?
Will it indeed?
Of course, the game doesn't usually like to put a safety car out as soon as one gets called in, so I'm not sure there will be.
They've cleared it, unless you get caught in that safety car glitch loop we had at the start of the we had at the start of the season, the start of the game iteration on a different league together. That was pretty difficult, but thankfully I think they've ironed that one out. I haven't seen it since. So we go back to full green conditions on the whole track, and Smoke.
Steele has no front wing at all. I think there was an incident for him as well.
Nitrogash is losing ground, Lightning, on the intermediate runners.
I've been on board with him most of this time, and he is struggling immensely. He's also spun, but I didn't bother mentioning it. Poor guy.
Brutal. Yeah, I mean, he had to give it a go, but surely the first lap that you go and you find that it's not working, if he'd have revisited that decision, he would have caught the back of the safety car by now. There's a Williams very long in the pits, having that that work seen too.
He's gone on the hard tyres, so that is a very bad strategy. He did not know about Nitro struggles, and now he's on the worst tyre, so
that's astonishing.
He's going to spin.
Yes,
he's going to spin, and he nearly did it so straight away.
So hard tyres, I can only imagine that was a mistake on selecting strategy on the way into the pits. I can't imagine that was deliberate. Ben Roberts tucked up right behind Kuipers here. Kuipers is he's got the rain light on, I think, rather than derating. Round the outside goes Ben Roberts. Can he get the car under control around Tarzan this lap round? Yes, and into the lead. Great drive so far from Ben Roberts. He's on fire today.
That was fantastic. From a 2-second gap to overtaking your competitor in around 3 laps. Oh yeah, and Steele has spun.
David calling that Nitro is now fast. I'm not sure.
No, he's not. He's not. I'm going to check.
They're really catching him quickly here. Ben Roberts can see him to lap him, so Ben Roberts could potentially lap the championship leader.
Yeah, he's currently 4 seconds off his personal best per sector.
Nitrogash, why are you sticking with this decision?
Yeah, per sector, 4 seconds difference.
Yeah, and here comes Ben Roberts, just showing the difference in grip. I think, oh no, it's just ghosting from being the lap driver. So he lets Kuipers through as well, and now he's got to get out of everybody's way and slow down. That's, yeah, doubling down on a bad decision, unfortunately, has just caused him to now drop a lap back. Steele getting out of the way of the leaders as well. So Steele and Nitrogash might have a competition between the two of them today. And Steele back into the pits.
The only possible thing Nitro can do now is stay out. He has to stay out because if he gets, if he pits, then he's lapped forever. And if there's another safety car, he can't unlap himself.
Steele has retired from the session, Lightning. He bonsai'd his way into the pit lane, triggered another penalty, and gone. Rent says Nitro usually makes good decisions. I think.
And he spun.
Okay. I'm concentrating on other people because the Nitrogash spin show should be on a different channel possibly.
What's happened to Cool?
Cool was caught up in that melee, triggered by Ben Roberts going around the outside and running out of brakes on the restart and rejoining unsafely. Everybody halting, and Cool was spun around.
That's really shame. That's a heartbreaker. Cool.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, it's lap 13. We see Ben Roberts in the lead. We see Kuipers in second and Ginger Tiger, Ben Roberts' teammate, in third place. Good night for Aston Martin so far. Smoke is in fourth. Joe Hamster and Eric Pancakes, the Red Bull team together, fifth and sixth. Rusman, Office Red, Cool and Nitrogash make out your 10 remaining drivers from 14 that took the start. We're waiting for dry conditions to become apparent, but it's exactly what we saw last night. And if anyone thought to watch the race before last night's race before they raced tonight, they would have seen that track takes a long time to dry up.
Well, now we know. Sadly, Nitro didn't watch. I think even if he stays out and everybody else pits, he's going to be behind them. So I think he's officially lapped, and there's no coming back from that.
That's right.
The maximum he'll get now is 10th, I think.
Rents asks...
As he goes into the gravel, oh my god.
Renz asks, no Ivan tonight. No, Ivan couldn't make it tonight. He had other things on his mind, shall we say. You'll have to ask him yourself if you're friends as to what he's up to. I won't spoil the surprise, but Ben Roberts continues to lead out there. David says Nitrogash will bounce back. I'm assuming he means Nitrogash.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether that means next race.
Yes.
This race. Oh, DRS enabled. Ooh,
there we go. So
critical.
An indication that dry weather is on the way, full dry conditions, and will Ben Roberts see that indication and be persuaded into the pits? No, he won't. I wonder if anyone will bother. But here comes, one of the Red Bulls comes in early. It's Joe Hamster. Gets the car successfully down, and that is tricky, Lightning, because you come at this pit lane at full speed, and you don't quite know what grip's there when it's wet conditions. No,
this pit lane is always catches you out because it's so fast, and then all of a sudden you have to slam on the brakes. And in these conditions, especially for worn-out intermediates, because you have to consider that they've had a few laps on them, despite not wearing out very much in general. They're still more than their prime, so it's quite difficult. Meanwhile, Nitrogash has finally equalled his personal best sector, the last sector or thereabouts, so he's definitely got some speed in those mediums.
Excellent. Looks like Kuiper's just holding up Ginger Tiger and Smoke here. I wonder if his tyres have started to go off. You usually aren't running out of ERS or anything at this point under intermediate conditions, Lightning, so I imagine it's just tyre overheating. Oh wow, he goes wide in the Hans Ernst corner, and as they go towards the end of the lap. They were almost side by side. Ginger Tiger had to blend out of the throttle, leaves himself a little bit vulnerable to the back of, with smoke behind him. Kuipers, Ben Roberts pits, Kuipers does as well, and Ginger Tiger goes past because he knows that his teammate's in the pits, but a 5-second penalty, Lightning, for Ben Roberts.
Yeah, that is what I noticed. That is a game changer, but he does have immense pace, so I think he may be able to get a gap to Kuipers, but obviously completely different conditions. And we
look at the power of the undercut as Joe Hamster overtakes all but Ben, who was the leader, using the undercut. That's incredible, making the brave decision. That was brilliant stuff for Joe Hamster.
I was not expecting that. He's all over the back of Ben. These conditions will suit the likes of Kuipers and Joe more, possibly, because Ben's pace came in the wet weather.
Yeah, tremendous stuff from Joe Hamster. That must have been a hell of an outlap.
Amazing confidence to go pushing so hard on such a greasy track.
Absolutely, you would definitely understand if someone went a little bit easier on it.
Yellow flag, cool. He is spun and he has no front wing.
Okay, but he's still running, crucially, still running. So Smoke is still being held up by Kuipers. Didn't get him in the pits because they pitted on the same lap, and there's no real difference between the pit stop team limit. But Ginger Tiger does exactly what Ben Roberts does. The Aston Martin can't slow down in that pit lane.
I was literally about to mention that. That is a terrible performance by the Aston Martins there, going into the pits. A classic rookie error.
Well, double rookie error and an engineer fail, frankly. Engineer should be screaming at them, careful because your teammate just got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
That would be a nice implement to the game.
It would, wouldn't it? Well, we've got a nice tight battle. Joe Hamster is still on the back of Ben Roberts with slightly colder, slightly younger tyres, and then this battle for third, Kuipers, Smoke and Eric Pancakes behind them. We've also got then some slightly larger gaps, but I think Rusman is going to be on the back of this group very soon as well. DRS is enabled, remember, so Joe Hamster will have an opportunity here as if he can close in on the next couple of corners. Ren says he can hear the Aston Martin engineers screaming from where he sits.
That's a very good point. That's a huge mistake from Ben. He goes on the inside curve of the last braking zone, and he has a mega oversteer moment on the exit.
Almost caught Joe Hamster out. He almost ran into the back of him, who gets the fastest lap. And yeah, because he had to blend out the throttle, Lightning, he didn't have the opportunity into Tarzan.
So he has to wait another time, maybe for the next DRS zone or the start-finish straight again. Ben choosing his wide line there, get a better exit. But he's going to be kicking himself.
That didn't work. That exit just isn't working versus Joe Hamster's line. It's a lot closer. You'd have expected them to open out the gap after that corner. I think Joe's just got a little bit more speed in these conditions right now.
Yeah, I mean, in qualifying, Ben Roberts got P6, was it? But Joe got P8. And yeah, in the race pace, Joe seems to be on it.
Certainly in the dry conditions. I mean, Ben was, I guess, maybe just went that little bit too far into a wet setup. I guess that's possible as we hit the midway point of our race.
But Ginger Tiger's race has been completely demolished because of the extra lap on intermediates on a dry track.
Yeah, and he's now obviously got to pay that penalty. Ben Roberts will be almost 5 seconds clear of Kuipers soon. Such is Kuipers' lack of speed at this point in the race. The Ferrari behind him.
Up in the inside. Does he go for it? There's
contact. No, don't touch there. We've already seen some accidents as touching on the exit of the car before. What was that from Eric Pancakes?
That was a bit of a ram there from Eric. I think he's got damage because of that. He's under pressure from Rushman there. Around the outside.
Oh, he's going to find his approach to the next corner. What a move from Rushman. Went wide, lifted and cut back. Beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen that move done before. into
That was
turn 9.
fantastic. But I think it's pretty official that Eric has damage, so that's pretty much ruined his race.
Oh, terrific stuff though from Rusman. That's got to be my top
fantastic
overtake so far of the week.
That was really good.
That's real instinctive driving. Driving on the fingertips and on your reactions. Brilliant stuff. Fantastic overtake. Joe Hamster now 7 tenths, 3/4 of a second now behind Ben Roberts. I think that's too far back to make a challenge. You've got to be really, really tight on the car in front. Down the start-finish straight, we have a pit stop coming for Eric Pancakes, who presumably needs to get some damage repaired, Lightning.
Yeah, that mistake is costly for him. Thankfully, it didn't affect, what was it? Kuipers, who got hit, I believe it was. Or was it Smoke FX? I think it was Smoke.
Yeah, I think it was. It was a weird dive bomb into Hugenholtz. I think Kuipers was fairly relieved to not be involved in that one. But yeah, Rusman now up to P5 and driving well. Eric Pancakes, he wasn't even able to put on some soft tyres. Cool has gone onto hard tyres, Lightning.
That's a very weird strategy. Hard tyres with not many laps to go. Like the mediums could easily make it.
Yeah, yeah. You're only asking 16 laps out of the mediums with low fuel. Should be okay. I think Rusman might be shaping for a move on the next DRS zone.
Joe Hamster is outside of the DRS. That is critical, and Ben Roberts is doing all he can. He's got a purple last sector. He is really pushing here to get a 5-second gap, and he's done the most important part, getting outside of the DRS, which will only make his job easier.
Absolutely. It's a big ask though. It's a big ask to get 5 seconds clear at the front of the race with only 16 to go. So these three continue to battle over, well, I guess 4th place now, with the gap opening between Smoke and Kuipers. He'll be pleased to see those two start to battle each other, but Rusman's not going to have the advantage until Smoke falls back behind. And how often, Lightning, do we see 3 or more cars all stuck together around these race circuits that we go to because of this DRS train effect?
Yeah, the DRS train is pretty apparent, especially this circuit, because the ERS in the dry weather, it depletes so fast that you just get stuck trying to save it, or not having enough to overtake anybody.
Yeah, Rusman's only got about 19% to Smoke's 27 and Kuipers 50 odd on the telemetry. We won't display it all the time. Here comes Smoke on Kuipers. Nice, easy pass actually, and he turned defence from Rusman into a successful attack within 1 lap. Had a mega lap there from Smoke and up into the podium positions then on lap 22.
That is heartbreak for Burmeister, who wanted Kuipers to get his first podium.
Oh, Burmeister,
it's not over yet.
Are you keeping the faith? Because Kuipers is coming back here.
Yeah, Smoke has 8% ERS, meanwhile Kuipers has 50. So it's
that's how
definitely not
Smoke
over.
got it done, because he did have a lot more than that.
He must have drained it all the way down the straight.
The thing is, you can afford to be recharging through the middle of the track as long as you've got something to fight with on the way out of the final corner.
As soon as you get below the 10%, you're going to be struggling a lot.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to save. It's surprising actually, but it is what it is around this circuit.
Yeah, not a lot anyone can do about it. You just got to know it. You've got to have some experience and plan for it, I guess. So, Kuipers.
Oh yeah, he's going for
half
it.
a
He's
second.
depleting one of his ERS. Not close
I don't think
enough,
he's
though.
going to get there, is he? And now he's spent all that ERS, and maybe Rusman has been able to charge a bit. So it's fascinating to watch how the what is used as effectively an overtake button is being managed by these 3 cars.
Thankfully for Kuipers, he still has 40% left, or he did at the end of the straight. Started off at 65.
Ben Roberts is now 1.2 seconds up the road, but he's got 13 laps to pay off that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Of course, another safety car might be able to help him pay that off, but he will lose track position come what may. So got a lot to do here to still win this one, and Joe Hamster will be happy to stay about a second behind. Rusman's got a good run now. Gets very close into the Hans Ernst corner. And then the gap opens out annoyingly for him.
He has to hold on to the DRS. He's only 20 milliseconds away. Oh my god!
Round he goes. Round goes Kuipers, takes the corner off the car, and I was just talking about safety car, and this corner claims yet another driver.
Yes, it is. There it is.
And surely, Lightning, this is going to be soft tyres all round.
As soon as I go on board with him.
Well, I was riding on the car behind, so I got a great view of it too.
Nitro in the pit. Sadly, for him, he's lapped, but they're all going for soft tyres, which is logical.
Yeah, well... Well, having said that, Office Red has put mediums on.
Oh. Interesting.
So you might think it's logical, but...
overheating problems, I guess, because after about 5-6 laps they do overheat, so if you haven't put your tyre pressures down, you are going to be suffering.
If only Nitrogas had stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, it would have been a game changer for him. But,
the game doesn't allow lapped drivers to pass, or just a handful of lap drivers, does it?
A handful, yeah.
we won't talk about that.
Yeah, it gives me PTSD.
Yes. But Ben Roberts, with so much work done, he presumably here, Lightning, has to pit and pay off that penalty, but he's going to lose track position. Don't do it again, Ben!
Joe Hamza gets 3 seconds. Joe Hamza has 3 now. From multiple
Interesting. And in fact, Smoke goes past the pit lane. So he would rather gain the track positions. Ginger Tiger's taking no chances for a speed lane. Pit entry.
My god, that is hilarious.
Once bitten, twice shy has never been more true than Ginger Tiger's entry to that pit lane. I guess it must have been partly Delta driving to the Delta, but it did amuse me for a moment, I have to say.
But now the tables have turned. Ben is going to be hunting down Joe with the 3-second penalty, but Joe does have the fresh softs.
So Ben Roberts does come out in P3 because he was grateful to see more drivers pit behind him. He's gone on medium tyres as well. He's not confident, Lightning, that the softs will reach the end.
Well, they will 100% reach the end. We saw Speed Queen and I believe it was Reshka go for around 20 laps on softs. But I think the problem is overheating, and after about 6 laps,
on them. Yeah.
After about 6 laps, they feel horrific, in my opinion.
So Joe will want to strike quickly on the very vulnerable. Didn't we see this just very recently, Lightning, with the front driver being the only one not to make the pit stop decision?
Yeah, we're going to sadly see Smoke drop like a stone.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. His restart is going to be very difficult. If anything, he needs to do it after the final corner, in my view, to avoid the traction gains that Joe Hamster will make on those new soft tyres. But we go for another safety car period, as into the pits comes Rusman. I think he's decided to put... Oh dear. I thought...
Soft's on though.
Thought he was going to go for a cheap soft pit stop, but he's picked up a penalty, so that's not working. Burmeister Burmeister has a crying emoji after seeing what's happened to Kuipers. Yeah, drama. You have to tell us who your second favourite driver is.
Always next time.
Absolutely. Oh, we're down to 9. It's been highly eventful. We were hoping for a good race, and it's certainly been all over the shop for... it's been drama nearly every lap out there. Through no fault of the drivers, I have to say, just very, very difficult conditions.
I just feel really bad for Nitro. There should be an unlapping procedure for the F1 game, but I'm afraid not.
No.
Oh, contact there, I think, between Ben and Office. Will that be a penalty? 5-second penalty?
Well, we'll wait and see. Race control do take their time investigating sometimes.
Close. Safety car in
Just
this
safety
lap.
car in, so we didn't even let Cool catch the back.
He's going to have to really hurry up his pace there.
We'll join Joe Hamster on the stream, but maybe you can keep an eye towards the back for us, Lightning, as well. But Joe Hamster ready to pounce. I don't know if hamsters pounce. I suppose they probably don't. Waiting
Hamsters
and
bite.
smoke is weaving. Hamsters run in circles as well in wheels, don't they? So I suppose that's appropriate. As smoke goes, and he does go after the traction zone of the final corner. Joe Hamster with an opportunity here, but perhaps not enough. Look at the braking difference as he gets the car into Tarzan.
Oh!
So much more confident. Oh, round
Ben
goes
Roberts.
Ben! What happened? Shocking. Was he
He just
pushed
lost
there?
it on traction. He just lost it on traction. 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag for Ginger Tiger. For
Caused by his
overtaking.
own teammate, and they were doing so well, Aston Martin. Plenty to discuss in the post-race debrief for the Aston Martin team.
Oh, side by side. Oh no, that's a ghost car. Never mind.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on Joe here, who needs to strike now. The longer he stays behind smoke, the less likely he will be to get clear of the penalty he's caused. Office Red might be on for a good result here as well, having not got a penalty yet.
On those mediums though, so he's going to be slower for at least another 5 laps.
What you saw from Ginger Tiger there, do you think that's a contentious penalty or slam dunk?
I think that he overtook under the safety car, so he overtook before the safety car went green.
It wasn't the spin of his own teammate.
No, I
that
don't think
he,
it was, because it
overtook
takes
under.
around 10-11 seconds for you to give the position back, so it has to be before that.
Ben Roberts is speeding into the pit
And now
lane
he's
for the
got-
second
oh my
time tonight. I think he's about to retire, Lightning.
10 seconds, yeah. He's got
Unless-
damage as well.
Yeah, unless he's just going for softs for the end. But yeah, we've got. I think that might be a quit out
Oh,
situation.
and also Eric Pancake, he spun and he has no front wing.
So Joe Hamster now less than 2/10 behind smoke, trying to get past. Shades of Mansell on Senna in Monaco here. How desperate he is to get past in completely the wrong parts of the track. Just needs to be patient, charge the ERS, save the tyres for one big launch out of the final corner. Talk of launch, here goes Ginger Tiger down the inside of Office. I don't know if he's held on, a little touch again, but Ginger Tiger with an unconventional move there on the way into Hugenholtz, but he made it work.
That was fair. Meanwhile, Cool is recovering back onto that train of cars. DRS enabled, this is critical now. That is not what Smoke is going to want to hear.
No, indeed, but he has pulled a small gap on Joe Hamster, so if he can hold on to that, around 7/10 is usually enough to hold off a car behind.
Ooh. Joe made a huge mistake going out of the exit of turn 3 there. Not a huge mistake, but a lot of oversteer. Also, he has a 3-second penalty to contend with, so if Smoke can defend for enough laps and then hold on.
Yeah, I remember
This is
Ginger Tiger with a 5-second as well for that yellow flag infringement.
This is an amazing performance by Smoke. Oh, Joe goes into the grass. What is happening to Joe here? He's nearly outside of the DRS.
I can only imagine he's overheated his soft
Overheating?
tyres.
Yeah, must be.
He was scrabbling around offline behind smoke. It did look like he was looking a little bit too impatient.
Oh, and he spun. Yep. I knew that was going to happen as soon as he went on that curb. As soon as he went on that curb.
So that is the penultimate corner. First time that corner's claimed anybody, but another retirement for us, as now Office Red goes for a move on Ginger Tiger. Can't quite get close enough, but Smoke, the race absolutely coming to him now. If these three cars in second, third and fourth, Ginger Tiger, Office Red and Rusman, slow each other down, fighting and bickering over this second place, Smoke could get away.
This is such an amazing strategy from Smoke. I thought that he was going to completely ruin it by staying out, but it has gone amazing for him at the moment. I don't want to jinx it though.
Ben Roberts going for fastest lap, trying to get whatever points he can down there in 6th place, but with only 9 runners, it is points. As Burmeister says, don't quit out. Keep pushing for the points for the championship. They all matter. They're all worth the same amount every race. So you don't want to be in a situation later in the season where you wish you'd finished a race earlier on.
No, absolutely not. There's going to be a battle here between the 2 Red Bulls on the exit. I think Joe lets his teammate go by.
I'm not surprised. Joe has put soft tyres on for fastest lap runs, I think.
Russman had to lift through the banking of the last corner, because otherwise he would have spun there as soon as I got on board.
Too close to Office Red, or was that just driver error?
No, I think it's just dirty air and a general over-series setup, possibly.
So 1.2 seconds Smoke's lead at the moment, which is sufficient if he can stay away from the DRS zone for Ginger Tiger. And if Ginger Tiger comes screaming up behind Lightning, he just lets him by, surely.
Well, both of them have...
Oh no, round goes Office!
Oh no. Has he got damage?
No, just got the inside of a curb on the apex in the middle sector and did about a 90-degree spin, saved it, but is down into P5 now for Office. It's just action every lap. Some kind of error or loss of grip.
That was brilliant sportsmanship there from Office to let his teammate go by, who is on the soft tyres, who can hunt down the 2 drivers with penalties. I think Office, he must have touched the inside curb. And,
just got a wheel over the edge of the inside curb as well, I think. Just enough to turn the car around, unfortunately.
Smoke is doing fantastic here. He managed to stay outside of the DRS of Ginger for the start-finish straight, which was critical for that lap.
Just don't go on board with him.
I will not.
Well, we ride with Ginger Tiger, who is gaining significantly here, but his tyres will be starting to lose their best. 6 laps into the life of the soft tyre on a sunny day currently, a sunny spell, we should say, at the Zandvoort circuit. Lap 32, it's 4 to go for Smoke, and he just needs to hold on here because the 2 drivers immediately behind him have both got penalties. He doesn't want to end up in a difficult position where he's forced into an error.
No, that's a very common thing that we've seen in this race. Lots of errors, lots of slight mistakes of the steering angle, causing you to go on those curves that you must not touch.
Yeah, it's just how hard the drivers are pushing. Great comment from Jens, who says, cool, who was 20 seconds off the safety car when the message for it to come in appeared, is now on the fight for a 2nd place. Shows that's that never give up attitude that we love to see.
It really is.
In cycling, they give the combative award for the hardest fighting rider, and I think if we had one of those, we'd give it to Cool tonight.
He has never given up, and he is going to get the result, hopefully, if he can keep it all together for the next 3 laps.
He needs to stay within 5 seconds of Ginger Tiger and 3 seconds of Rusman, and it does look to be on for that at the moment.
Likewise, this Office, they could be on for an Alfa Romeo podium, both of them.
Do you think they could both get within range?
I think that if Office can catch up to the DRS of Cool, he could get dragged along. But I guess we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 7 places up for Office, 4 each for Smoke and Rusman, so some impressive performances out there. Ginger Tiger is back where he just about started after having just about everything to deal with today in the race. Lap 34 has just ticked over, and we have 2 complete laps to run for you. Smoke is doing his level best to hang on here. Let's have a quick check, Lightning, on his ERS situation. Ginger Tiger 51. Oh no, Smoke. It's a difficult job as Ginger Tiger is coming up behind him. Obviously, he wants to get as far up the road as possible to maximise his chances of finishing on the podium. I don't think he'll be hoping for a win here unless he can force an error out of Smoke. legally, of course. Yeah. I think that if he can clear Smoke, I think he's got the pace to get away from Cool, but I don't know if he can clear Smoke quickly enough. It's the key battle on the track at the moment is Ginger Tiger versus Smoke, who has regained a little bit of ERS as they...
Yeah, this is it. I think this is it. It's going to go for a move here, but still not over. 5-second penalty for Ginger.
Oh, guess left, guess right, and he goes left. Yeah, successfully tucks in. Now, Smoke, is he aware of the gaps? Is he aware of the penalties? And does he know what he needs to do to still win this race? He's lost a position on the road, but those medium tyres, it was easier to stay on terms with Ginger Tiger while he was in the lead. Now he's going to slip back further and further on those old tyres, Lightning.
Well, he only has to hold on for the 1.5 laps, so if he can do that, then it's going to be fantastic. I said at the start of this stream that I was expecting better things from Smoke, considering he's down in the order of the championship, and he is providing at the moment.
Definitely, really strong performance, but also strong from office, from his start position. Let's get that telemetry off. And as he packed grandstands on the helicopter cam, lots of Dutch support, of course, as you'd expect.
Smoke might go for another move here. He stayed within 6.5 tenths. That's pretty impressive.
Well, he's certainly going to close in. He doesn't need to go for a dodgy move, Lightning. I mean, surely you wouldn't be tempted.
The last lap here.
Oh, Ginger Tiger goes slightly long on the brakes. Gets the car wrestled under control thanks to the banking on the Tarzan corner. We're going to have a battle for the win to the very end here, which I love to see. You don't often see it. Normally the leader with a clear track in front of them can get away. Some really good, strong performances out there. Some less strong performances, but lots of cars hanging on when others failed to.
Oh, Russman going really wide there. Cool gaining a little bit. He is now outside of the range of Ginger Tiger's penalty, so the best he can hope for is P3.
Yeah, he'll push and he'll try as best he can. Ginger Tiger could make a mistake, but they're heading into the final sector of the racetrack now. He's actually being caught here by Smoke, so Ginger Tiger with the pressure on, it could be a difficult finish. Here we go then, through the final corner. That's the last trap laid and avoided for Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger takes the win tonight on the road, but Smoke gets in with thanks to that penalty. Well done, Smoke, in the Ferrari. Cool actually finally got there on Ginger Tiger, Lightning, and Cool gets P2 by 1.112 of a second. Ginger Tiger lost out the second place. Cool with second place. Ginger Tiger third. Office Red in fourth position. Rusman credited with fifth place, and Ben Roberts, who still has a 5-second penalty to pay. He'll go and cross that line, but he's got about 14 plus 3 seconds on Joe Hamster, so no damage there. The Red Bulls will bring the car home in 7th and 8th. McLaren will get the car in 5th and 9th tonight, as Nitrogash will tick by as soon as Eric Pancakes has crossed the line, because he's a lap down. And that was your Dutch Grand Prix here in IRL's F2 division. David enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. Do make sure you've liked the video while we try and assemble our podium sitters for a quick word or two. Office Red gets the official driver of the day with the most places gained, and tough to argue with that one, but we saw a very strong drive out there from Smoke, Lightning.
Yeah, absolutely my driver of the day. It was seriously impressive to see. What a strategy, a bold strategy, and he made it work.
Yeah, terrific stuff. Giving up the opportunity for fresh tyres. He ran those mediums very long when everyone else around him was on new tyres, and he did it. He got it in the end. Great to see different strategies making use of a great race overall. Fastest lap went to Joe Hamster with a 1:12.006. And Lightning, if you don't mind giving us the full rundown.
I will get to it. Yes, so Smoke for Britain gets P1, followed by Cool and Ginger Tiger to finish at the podium. Office Road from P12 up to P4, so very good comeback from him. Russman in the McLaren, best performance for that team in P5. Ben Roberts, up and down race, but eventually he finished where he started. Eric Pancakes and Joe Hampster, Nitro Gash, finish out the points. And then DNF, we have Kuipers, Steele, BL66, Simon Palmer, Mrs. Scene, and Tyra, who do not finish.